Innovative content. Global audience.
Hello, good morning, viewers. A very warm welcome to you from our SRO TV studio here in London, the world's capital city. My name is Princess Kessy, and this is Inside Nigeria. I will bring you everything inside Nigeria. But today, we put the focus on our ministers, especially the minister of FCT. Yosem Wike, yes, what is going on there? A lot of things, activities here and there. And of course, we have some new ministers, quite young, if you ask me. Yes, I believe this is what the youth have been clamoring for. Just maybe they are not enough, we need more. Like Oliver Twist asked for more. Yes, we'll see how that go. But we have a lot of other trending issues as well. Sarah calling Tinubu to make sure, dragging Tinubu to court to make sure they stop Wike and other people from receiving that life pension at the state level. These are some of the issues we'll be discussing today on Inside Nigeria. Now, you're welcome to the show. I have with me this morning very vibrant youth, Nigerian youth as well. First, I have the one and only, I used to call him Uncle Yowa, but today on the show, he's no longer MC Yowa. We bring him as Honorable Rotary Joseph Utoboro. Yes, Michael. I used to call him Michael as well. Now, he is the spokesperson at Tinubu Shetima Progressive Grassroots Mobilization. Yes. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you this morning, sir.
Thank you. I'm pleased to meet you.
Yes. And of course, I have with me as well Moses John, one and only special correspondent. Yes, he's a senior reporter in FCT. Yes, he has been in the media for decades. Good morning, sir. Welcome. Moses John, can you hear us? It's too early now to have network issues. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome to the show Inside Nigeria. What's going on inside Nigeria this morning? Yes, let's start with since we have a little bit of issues with Moses there, so I wanted to ask I wanted to start with Moses because he is a senior correspondent, so he should update us what is going on in Abuja inside Nigeria. But today we'll put the focus mostly in Abuja. Okay, since he's finding it difficult, so we go straight to Toboro Michael. What is going on in FCT?
Thank you, Princess. You're doing a very wonderful job and the nation building when it comes to journalism and broadcast. And Abuja is fine, and we are doing well. At the moment, the weather is warm. It's about to rain, and I can see everybody. We are doing very well. Abuja is good, and we are happy to be alive this morning.
Yes, we're happy to be alive. Hello, Moses John. Can you hear us now? Hello, Moses John. Okay, Uncle Yowa, so I go back to you again. Now, we saw that the FCT minister currently bought a new vehicle some days ago. Now, he said, we know that this is peculiar with every minister that comes in, and of course, with state governors as well. But now, Wike said this is aimed at, curtailing insecurity. This will enable these traditional rulers to ease their mobility in a way of him trying to checkmate insecurity in the states, FCT. Now, what's your take on this?
Yes, that's what we call the role of traditional rulers and in maintaining a national security, sustainable development. You see, like I know, traditional rulers are the custodian of people culture. Do you understand? And engaging them in such a way and circumstances is very paramount because, like I said, one-on-one to you yesterday, and every traditional ruler as a custodian of people culture. At the same time, they know all the locations, they know who and who in the community. Do you get? So engaging them in such manners and way, and I know and I believe they are going to work immensely. They are going to work very well to make sure insecurity in Abuja and become the thing of the past, and to make sure to arrest the perpetrators, those who are involved in criminality in one or two things in Abuja, to make sure they have been arrested and be brought to book.
Moses John, can you hear me now?
Yeah, loud and clear. I'm very sorry for not, I don't know, it's a technical issue. I tried to connect.
We are going to fine you for that. That will be
It's
later.
okay there. It's okay there. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear now.
Okay, so what's going on in the Federal Capital Territory? I know you're a senior correspondent in that place, and of course, we saw also that Wike, there's a move, he bought some vehicles for traditional rulers. Now, it's not about buying vehicle because it's peculiar to what the predecessors did before, even governors did before. But a lot of comments, Wike is a man of I don't know how to put it, but you know what I'm saying. Now, a lot of comments are coming as regard to these new vehicles provided to the traditional rulers. Now, what's your take on this, Moses?
Well, we keep buying vehicle for traditional rulers. Well, the place of traditional institution can no be over emphasized in our democracy. Yes, you need to, engage them. Often because they know who live in their community, and so they can as well be able to. Call upon the government. Okay, we've seen a strange face, we've seen a strange movement in our community, and therefore the government needs to do the needful. But beyond just giving traditional rural vehicles, I think the Minister of FCT, Barrister Wike, need to step up his game more, and let's see how he can maybe resuscitate the community policing, where the locals also have a place beyond just giving traditional rural vehicles. I think he needs to do more because of recent we've seen where people who live in communities and then they come back at night to attack such communities, and this traditional ruler can also be a political, and then I think Mr. Wike need to step up his game, do more. While I applaud him for giving them those vehicles, but I think he needs to do more in terms of ensuring the national capital is safe for everybody to live in.
Well, there's a lot, like you did say. Now, it's not about buying the vehicles, but a lot of other issues when we talk about FCT, as far as FCT is concerned. Now, I want us to watch this. Let's see what's going on there and how that went played out the other day, and then we'll come back to discuss these very topical issues.
In order to support local community management and improve the security within the FCT, the Minister, Barrister Yusuf Ezowon Wike, CON, GSSRS, on Friday, 15 September 2023, has provided vehicles for government-recognized traditional rulers in the FCT. He also plans to support and work closely with the traditional rulers as they are crucial partners whose active support will greatly improve the security in the FCT. FCTA Secretary Beatrice Lawrence Gariki Atafashe also said the FCT Minister, Barrister Wike, has promised to make FCT work. This, he said, is the topmost on his priority list to ensure people in the FCT are safe. And in doing that, the royal fathers must have good mobility, as mobility is a necessity if they are to achieve the goals of safe and secure FCT for all.
I think the traditional rulers have the role to play in terms of security. You know their communities better than anybody. You know those who live within your community. So you'll be able to identify those who look like strangers where you stay. Police alone, no security agency can perform the function.
This is news events from SRE TV, Abuja.
back. This is Inside Nigeria, where we bring you everything there is to Nigeria. But today, the focus mostly we put on FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, and of course, the minister, our able minister, Yusem Wike, the barrister himself. Now, Moses, a lot of comments. I have been following the trend carefully. And a lot of comments, even as of this morning, people are actually not very happy. One, they termed that this is an attempt because they felt already Wike was made the FCT minister for a purpose. And now they feel this is an attempt to silence the traditional rulers in the future. Another attempt as well to make sure that he buys his way into the hearts of the people. Now, do you think this is correct, Moses?
Well, anybody have a right to express different opinion on the motive behind the ministers giving the traditional rulers vehicles. Well, the person has the right to his opinion, but in as much as that is his own opinion. But you see, just like as I said earlier, I do not think giving them vehicle is enough. Because as of this morning, a news report in Daily Trust newspaper, where a village, fear grip a village because there was a clash between that particular village and scavengers. And of course, you know what that means. These scavengers usually they will go and regroup and come back and attack this village. You know, so I want to say that yes, in a way, people might want to say this because they felt in Nigeria, once you give somebody a gift, of course, meaning you bought the person over, so the person will be able to speak up his mind when need be. And so let's watch our things unfold. But like I said earlier, the minister needs to sit up. The Abuja is the nation capital, and so Abuja need to be secured. And you should also know that Abuja is not just only the city center. We also have other community where thousands of workers who works at the city center live. And so you should ensure both the area councils who are components of the city are safe. For the citizens to live without any fear of attack or anything.
Very well then, Mr. Michael Joseph. Now, a lot of people, we are going to talk about other issues, but I really want us to look at this very critically. I spoke with some indigents. They are not. I wanted to bring them here, but for some reasons, maybe we'll have another show and then we can have them properly. Now they're saying that these vehicles are not. Nigerians also. There's a saying that nothing you do that will please the people, but they have the opinion that these vehicles are not vehicles for wars. They are not vehicles. They are not even Nigerian brand vehicles. So this is just an attempt to just silence their chiefs in a way that they won't be able to speak or tell the truth. Now, Mr. Joseph, a lot of people, like Moses said, are in the FCT, not just the indigenes alone. Now, what's your take on this? These vehicles Nigerians are asking, they are not for war. And then why are they buying so much expensive vehicle? And Wike also, if you recall 2 years ago, Wike did this. Something happened within Wike and the traditional rulers in River State, which they termed rude. He insulted the traditional rulers. And because of this reason, a lot of people are saying this is another move to silence traditional rulers in the FCT. I don't know whether you recall that incident 2 years ago. Now people are tying this to that. Now, what's your take on this?
Yeah, thank you, Princess. Moses, nice to meet you. And permit me to borrow this language. And if you do, they go talk. If you no do, they go still talk. You know? What am I trying to say is, giving the traditional rulers a vehicle to ease their movement is very paramount. We are not talking about buying any individual mind or decision here.
Mr. Toboro, let's not forget that we can tie this to as curbing insecurity. I want to relate it to the vehicles, the traditional rulers, and insecurity. How does that play? That is what I want to understand.
Yes, it's still in line of what I'm trying to say. You understand? To ease their movement, to make sure there is peace in the community. Just like what Moses said now, he said vehicle is not enough. There's what we call security vote. You understand? In traditional houses or all the traditional leaders need to be provided of what we call security vote. Such security vote are used for some certain problems in the community. I'm aware of Gwagwalada Area Council, Kuje, and what have you. Some traditional rulers build what we call vigilante houses. They create vigilante group and fund them for the community. How are they getting those money? If Weke did not provide more security vote for them, how would they have the power, the manpower to conduct and such activities? Just like what Moses said, the vehicles are not enough. Fund the traditional rulers so that they will work very well. Like I told you, traditional rulers are the custodian of people's culture. Not culture alone, they know who are who in the community. If you are new in the community, they know. If an ad member in the community, they know. Do you get? So vehicle alone would not solve any issue. There's nothing like buying vehicle for a traditional ruler and buying his own mind, and so that the minister will impose one or two things on them. No, it's a capital lie. That's not the truth. You are aware that security leaders, okay, let me talk about the Niger debtors. Most of the problem in such Niger data are caused by the traditional rulers, which you know. And Weke is aware. He knows them. And that's what happened. That's what played 2 years ago. It's all about the media. So to me, it's a very good idea. I would like him to do more and more. Let me tell you something. I live in Lokogoma. 2 weeks ago, somebody was kidnapped in Lokogoma. Moses, I know you're aware. Broad daylight, not even, this thing happened 5 p.m. in the evening. And you understand, someone was kidnapped. And the ransom was paid 100 million before he was released. I'm talking about city center. I'm not talking about the area council. So things have to be done. Everybody has to be a security of individual.
Based on what you said, Michael, how optimistic are we that this move by the minister is going to checkmate insecurity in the FCT?
Practically what he's doing is perfect. It's a perfect thing to do now. Are you talking about the what he has done?
Yes.
Are you talking about, madam? Like I said, the idea of Weke is a perfect idea. And what Moses said, I want him to do more financially to fund the necessary body responsible for security checkup, so that all hands will be on deck and make sure Abuja to become one world-class city in the world that everybody will be attracted to come in. Like me, I love walking, moving at night. Anytime outside, maybe once it's 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., my wife will be calling me, Joe, what's going on? Abuja is not safe. No, this is not the Abuja that we used to know before. Moses, go to Garki, Lagos Street. We used to be there 2, 3, 4 o'clock, and we'll drive home. Nothing's happening. This is the kind of Abuja we want. And we are pleading with Weke. He has done well in River State. We want him to do the same thing in Abuja here, in terms of security, in terms of infrastructure. That is my take.
Okay, now, Moses, we know that Yowa did say something. The Abuja we know before is no longer the Abuja we know as of today because of insecurity is becoming a problem. Gone are the days where people think Abuja is safe. You can come in, work, like he said, at every point in time. Now people are very cautious of what they do and where they go to. What do you think that can be done, Moses? Because this is the Federal Capital Territory we're talking about, the seat of power. And then, like he said, around 5 p.m. broad daylight, people are being kidnapped from the city center.
You see, thank you, Princess. And then uh, let me say this. I really did not want to blame, criticize Wiki, but I'm tempted here too. Now, looking at the vehicles he's providing, when you said you are providing vehicle to help check security challenges in the area, I was expecting you to give vehicles that are commensurate. I mean, with the areas the traditional rural need. You are buying them what for me, looks like official vehicle. Why
Not
not buying them healers? Why not get them healers where they can actually use to go to? Because in most of this area, their roads are not even good. The roads are not good. So when you provide some vehicles for traditional rulers to him, so as they used to check security challenges, how would such a vehicle go to areas like in Kuje area councils where you have areas that the road are not even good? How? I think beyond giving these vehicles, like I said earlier, let me advise the minister to ensure there is this trust between people and the security agency, because a lot of times people live in areas where they know this criminal, but because of lack of trust, they find it difficult to even dish out information. For instance, I live in a place where at the gate they say all kinds of drugs. What I mean drugs, they say all kinds of drugs. And I remember in one of the community meetings I attended, I raised that issue. And then the chairman of that community stand up to say that my brother, certain things are not discussed outside. That you don't even know if somebody listening to you is patronizing them so that they won't attack you. In fact, he told me that you don't even go to police station to report because it seems the police and these guys work hand in hand. So, first, we need to ensure there is a bit of trust between security personnel, security agency, and the community, where they can dish out information without any fear of attack or the present attack from anybody. So beyond just giving car to traditional rulers, no, you need to at least even visit these areas and then see how peculiar. Most of these areas, how peculiar their challenges are, so that he in handling or in solving the problem, that might not be the same thing. For instance, if one solve security challenge, security issue in Amak, will be the different with how you will solve security challenges in places like Abaji or let's say Buhari, for instance. So he should as a matter of fact sit up, do more, and ensure the nation capital becomes safe for everybody to stay.
Now, Michael Toboro, the issue we have here is that the misunderstanding the vehicles are bringing among some of the indigenes and the people of the Federal Capital Territory. They believe that if you want to give traditional rulers vehicles, give them. Nobody is against this. This is a way of honoring them. Like you said, they are the custodians of tradition and the law. But if you're saying insecurity or security issues, now, what other moves? Is it not a state community policing like Moses raised that is even better, instead of buying these cars and then tagging it that is a way of curbing, or it will help to curb insecurity?
Anyway, just like what Moses said, me buying this vehicle for this traditional ruler is nothing else to. It's kind of a social, that's what I call corporate social responsibility. They are the owner of the land. Look, Wake just barely come. It's up to 2 months. We are just begin. We just begin 1 or 2 things.
Okay,
Do you
so
understand?
we should keep our fingers crossed. Because
Yes.
insecurity, you did say somebody was kidnapped in a broad daylight in Lokogoma. So we are more focused on insecurity issues. And because he sent these vehicles, he gave out as in a way to help curb insecurity. That is why we're concerned. And this vehicle, like Moses just pointed out, are more of luxury vehicles. And if you want to checkmate insecurity, people would think that maybe state policing, we just a way.
Princess,
Anyway,
are you expecting the traditional ruler to go and checkmate or to drive to go and checkmate the insecurity within the community?
so what is the
No.
essence of the vehicles? Because that was what he said for mobility. So
Moses is aware that most of the traditional rulers doesn't have cars. He's aware.
No, but Mr. Joe, you see, most of them are politicians, okay? Politicians buy them vehicles. They have vehicles. What I'm saying is, he would have, purchased operational vehicles that might use for multi-purpose.
I
Not this.
understand your stand. I know where you're heading to. Just like what I told, I made mention of security. I made mention of traditional rulers establishing what we call a vigilante group. If I were the minister, he will have provide like hillocks, give to the traditional rulers, to give to the local vigilantes, so that they will use it going around the community to checkmate the insecurity. But you are right. Look, just like I told you, are very correct. What I said is, it's too early. Minister Wike will still do more in terms of security in FCT. He's still going to call all the. He's going to call.
But Mr. Joe, I don't want you to say it's too early. You see, the media, what they do is to set agenda. If this issue is not being discussed, politician, he might go to sleep. He believes everybody is happy with him. He believes what he's doing is right. So the media need to keep talking. The media need to set agenda for him.
You are very correct. I know the role that Weke played in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is a very kind of a troublesome area. I beg your pardon, apology for making such a statement. But that's truth about it. But when Weke was the governor of Cross River State, he know the role he played. Apparently, we have 70 to 80% security in Rivers. And I know he's going to do the same thing in FCT. He's just coming. You need to see the security. You need to see the traditional rulers. It's just like when a visitor comes to you, you give them cola. That's the same thing he did. It's just a cola.
But you wouldn't have termed it as in a move or aim to check insecurity. Anyway, we see how that go. We keep our fingers crossed. Like
I know he's going to do more in terms of. I know. Look at what he's doing now.
Timetable for that, Michael. When the time comes, we'll bring you here again. Maybe just another 3 months, we'll bring you here again and we do an update on the ministry.
Thank you so much.
Yes, that would be nice. And also, there is this news, Serap Steels Tunubu, that is our dear president, over failure to stop Wike and others from collecting retirements. Now, what's your take on this, Moses? Let me ask you first.
You see, it is a shame. It is a shame for a president who feels he needs to harness every resources, okay, to develop the country, but fail to also stop himself, because as we are aware, the president is still collecting what's it called? Pension and other benefits as a former governor of the state. For me, I think this is not right. This is not right, because we are talking about, cutting costs of governance in our country, meaning we should harness every resources for the betterment of the citizen. Now, when you pay a former governor who is a minister, receiving salary, collecting pension, what have you done? An ordinary person who you couldn't pay subsidy for, because according to you, the cost of running governance is too bogus. But you don't see it as as something that is wrong for you to stop. I know of a governor, former governor of Ogun State, Abukule Amusu, senator now, wrote to his governor to stop paying his pension. I applaud that governor, honestly. And I expect all former governors who are senators, some are ministers now, to also do same. Nigeria must be rid of all kinds of corruption. Because this guy, you are collecting chunk of money as salary. Why still collect pension? So for me, Sarah's decision is apt. I am totally in support of that decision. And as a matter of fact, right thinking Nigeria must rise and protest against this barbaric behavior. Because for me, it's uncivilized way of behaving, that you're collecting money, you say because you serve, and you're collecting pension, and the people are suffering. Do you know how Nigerians are suffering today? Most Nigerians today are paying close to 70% of their salary on transport alone. Not to even talk of feeding and other essentials. And now somebody is taking that amount of money, and it's because it's privilege. So I support what Sarah is doing, and I think Nigeria should back Sarah up, and then ensure the matter is given a speedy attention at the court of law. Thank you.
Wow. Joseph, now what's your take? Do you back the move of Sarah or the move of our Moses?
But the way and the manner she's taking the issue is not the proper way.
Who are you referring to? Is it Moses or Sarah?
Both Moses and Sarah.
Sarah.
See, pension is my entitlement. The Lord said, when I serve, this thing is a law. When you serve, you're entitled for pension for so.
My brother, which law? A law that he infers.
Moses, you are aware that every
brother, are you also aware that workers who stand, their pensions are yet to be paid? Are you aware? Somebody who served 4 years, workers serve 60 years. You are not paying their pension. Somebody just start for 8 years. And what pension is that?
I know, but I gave you your time to talk. Let me land. It's just like when you are trying to tell my own mother, who served as a principal in the community, to fulfill our pension. It's not done that way. It has to be an optional, it has to be willingly. The law said when you serve as a governor, you are entitled to so A and B. So because I have another political appointment, you are forcing me to stop collecting my pension. No, it has to be an optional bargain. Moses, I want you to understand this in a local context.
Michael, I will never. You know why? You know why I won't understand it? These governors, mind you, these governors perhaps they are House of Assembly to make this law in their favor.
It's an entitlement. It's not the entitlement.
No, it's not an entitlement. If you ask me, it's fraudulent.
Let's verify.
Michael,
let's verify some issues before we said it in the national television. As a governor of the governor of a state, I've served my state for 8 years, and the law said after my service I should be entitled for so thing. What if
what was this law promulgated? No, the fact is you don't make law to favor yourself. That is the point.
Peradventure, I'm landing somewhere. What if peradventure I don't have any political appointment, so I should go and die because you are taking away my pension? Is that what you're trying to say?
My brother, how can you? The law talks about after 60 years of retirement, after 60 years as an age, or after you serve 35 years. We're talking about work. There are workers today after serving like 35 years, right? They are 60, they're retired, their pension is being dragged. Haba, who made this law? The same UK manipulated his houses of assembly to make law on his favor. Please,
No,
let's
no,
stop
no,
this.
no, 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 no,
This
no, no, no. Now,
no,
Moses, let's verify whatever we are saying. Now we are talking about, let's verify whatever we are saying. All these are fallacy. They are not true.
So,
The only
so
thing you said, the only
that the
thing you said, which I
governor
understand.
didn't no,
Hold
that
on.
the governor
The only
didn't
thing,
influence them. Is
the
that what
only
you're
thing you
saying?
said, the only thing you say, which I understand with, yes, if you're a former governor and you have an appointment, fulfill your pension for other things to be done with it, which is a bargain issue. And it has to be an optional. It's my money. It's my entitlement. Okay, I'll call the governor. Okay, look, I am not the minister of so. Please, my pension, use it for something else. You can't just come and force me to fulfill my pension. I work for the state. Do you know what it means to be a governor? No, let's be realistic. Let it be a bargain something. Let it be something that, okay, we are people, the former governor's conscious. Sir, please, look into this. Fulfill your pension so that we can use this money for A and other things in the state. Since you are now the minister, do you know what do you think? I want us to understand this in a very simple manner, and so that Nigeria will understand. Because the way Sarah is saying this as if they are also extorting state money. That's how it is.
Of course, that's extortion. Of course, Sarah is right.
But Michael Utuburu, don't you think, as regarding the economic situation right now, because every Nigerian is actually going through hell. Now, let me read this headline this morning out for you guys, for you to hear me. And Moses, this is coming from your paper Blueprints, and it says, why we can't increase Tinubu and ministers' salary. This is coming from RMAFC. Says economic reality reason for delay. So if not for the economy, if not for the economic situation, there would have been an increase. Says president earns less than 1.5 million and ministers about 1 million. Now these are the issues, Moses and Mike. When we talk about no money for governance, so subsidies should be removed. Nigerians are growing in. And let's not forget also that the major paper this morning coming from the Punch newspaper says, the major headline says, marketers eye fresh fuel price hike as crude hits for $94. These are the issues. So we're still talking about there might still be hike in fuel. Why our dear ministers go home with as much as 1 million, or the president less than 1.5 million. Now, these are the issues Nigerians are having, and that is what brought about the chaos about the vehicles we can buy. They are expensive vehicles. You're checking insecurity instead of you to focus on community policing with things they will need. This is what they are not doing. And Nigerians are now consigned. Just look at the headlines this morning. They are giving reason why they can increase the salaries. And the common man is there. Pensions are not being paid. People are not being paid. Most time people can't even afford 3 or 2 square meals. These are the issues I want us to look at critically before we end the show today. What are we? Yes, go ahead, Moses.
Princess, a quick one. Let me take on Joe. I need to know which state or the federation are you from?
I'm from Benin State, very close to you.
Okay, fine. Now you are aware that the last governor of Benin State, that is the
Autumn.
failed to pay salary and pension of worker for close to how many months? You are aware? Now, from day one,
that's the reason why we're removing and brought in someone that's going to work well.
Okay, good.
I do not want us to. I am apolitical. I don't belong to any political party. My party is the working people. I want you to understand one thing. Why is this? I am backing Syrup. Syrup has a national issue. I mean, going to call challenging it for the benefit of Nigerians and for the betterment of our country. For instance, sir, like that I earlier said, how will you justify these governors? All they do is what they want, that their houses of assembly. I mean, it's just they make law for themselves. You are aware that so many of the citizens of this state live from hand to mouth, and you are collecting pension. A worker who worked for 35 years is not taking his pension. And you just work for 8 years. You stole billions of funds belonging for that state, because I do not want us to go about probing his 8 years as the governor of Rivers State. But you can't tell me that he can judiciously tell us that that he can account for every one kobo that is being given for the federation account. It's not possible. Now he has a chunk amount of money to steal, and after he finish 8 years, you are still paying him pension. When a worker after 35 years, after that worker is suffering, it's small pension you can't give him, and then the government is taking pension. Does that one make sense? If can this be happening in a fair society? Can you say that there's any equity here?
Now,
Can you say that there's any equity?
let's get something clear. The report says the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against President Tinubu Bola Ahmed over the failure to stop the former governors who are now serving as ministers in his administration from collecting life pension and other retirement benefits from their states while they are not serving. So I think the move is get towards if they weren't here, that they just retire and go, fine. But now they are not serving. That means they are collecting here and they are collecting here. This is where SERAP is having issues from. And I'm quite sad that October just left because of network issues. Now, Moses, before we have him back, we definitely come back to this issue again. What's your take? The labor movement, of course, the organized labor are going to meet with the federal government today. There's been a lot of back and forth, and as regarding to the palliative subsidy removal and workers in general, what do you think we should be expecting this time around?
Well, just like the organized labor, the Nigeria Labour Congress said, of course, they are going to honor this meeting called by His Excellency the Minister of Labor and Employment, Dr. Simon Lalong. They are going to honor the meeting. Before now, of course, they've always availed themselves for any dialogue towards resolving any dispute they have with the government. But you see, why I share in what the labor are saying is a government who made a comment. 3 months is enough. 3 months is enough for you to solve a problem that you have caused. Because declaring that subsidy is gone, it shows that you have plans, to cushion the effect. Because in the first place, you are not refining PMS in Nigeria. That is a failure on their part as government. It is not the working people. The working people had always a preferred solution on how government can solve that energy problem. But the government, because her only interest is to toe the path of the Brittlewood policies by inflicting suffering and the hardship on the working people. Just like I made a point earlier that a worker today in Nigeria is spending close to 70 to or 80% of his salary on transportation alone. We're not talking about other goods and services. He has to feed his family, he has to pay school fees for his children. So the organized labor are open, and the government must be serious, must come to this today's dialogue with an open heart, at least with sincerity, to resolve this issue. For Christ's sake, all the committees that was put in place, what are they doing? What are they doing? They are supposed to speed up action in ensuring that at least they pay palliative for Nigeria. Not only palliative, I think, because if you want to say palliative, like what the governors are doing, it's a shame that the governor will go and be giving worker 10,000 naira. Is it 10,000 naira that is their problem? Is that what will ameliorate the hardship they are facing today as a result of that policy that the government has, without plans or anything, has decided to implement? So I think the government must come to that meeting with all sincerity of purpose and with a step on ending the suffering of Nigerians. That's my
Because
take.
this is headlines are coming from News They Read, Nigerian News They Read this morning that says federal government meets labor today over insistence on indefinite strike, palliative
Yeah,
distribution as labor's 21-day ultimatum expires this week.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Earlier the Nigeria Labour Congress went on a 2 days warning strike, right? And that decision was taken from their organs meeting, that's the National Executive Council meeting. And at that meeting, it also issued a 21-day ultimatum in which the federal government must have finalized all other issues we raised. As in, if government fail to do that, they won't hesitate to embark on an indefinite strike. Yes, and it is also a shame that government will wait until when workers ultimatum, elapse, that you're calling them. I don't really see proactiveness and on the part of the minister of with due respect to His Excellency Dr. Simon Lalong. You don't have to wait until when it's almost to the end of the ultimatum the worker did that you're not calling them. So I felt they are not being sincere with whatever they are doing. But anyway, let's watch
Yes,
out.
let's see what will come out of that meeting today. But
Absolutely.
I'm gonna ask you as well, October. Now, what's your take on this? We've been having this back and forth with government and with the organized labor, which are they're supposed to be the mouthpiece of our dear Nigerian workers.
Anyway, President Tinubu is trying his best to make sure they resolve this issue. An apology is about to rain, so it's affecting my network, but I'm trying to fix it in order.
All right, no
Like I said, which Moses is aware, that Mr. President want to put all hands on deck to make sure they resolve this labor saga. And I believe and I trust. Please, the government just started. The situation where these are inheritance problem. You understand? So I want to plead to Nigeria.
let me ask you a question, Michael. You said the inheritance problem, and the government just started. They've done 100 days already in office, and before you came into power, there was a manifesto, there was an agenda. Of course, you are in Nigeria. You've been living in the country. You saw that things are not working well. Hold on. You saw that things are not working well. You decided to come and change the narratives. And you came with that first subsidy is gone. That means you have something to cushion the effects, which Nigerians are not seeing that there was nothing in place. It's been from one hand to the other, which is not even getting to the people. I had a show on that. A lot of states are confirming they've not seen that money, while some other states are saying they've seen the money, which is not even making any headway, sir.
Like I told you, when President Tinubu came into power, we inherited serious debt, which he knows. Our foreign reserve, there were nothing on it. He's just starting from the scratch. You cannot just build a house in one day. There's some processes in building a house, which foundation, block, roofing, and what have you. We are just starting the system. He's aware that the salary the salary will increase, but I know it's not enough. I'm in Nigeria. I'm also passing through these difficulties. I'm spending 30,000, 40,000 to fill my tank every week. How much am I making? It's painful. I'm feeling it. I'm inside this country. But like I said, let Nigerians understand. Let Labour also understand, so that we should have a soft landing.
So you're saying we should be patient?
We just start. Look at the way we started now. Moses, you are aware, you know. Let's be patient.
Mr. I'm not aware that you're just starting. As far as concerned, this is a continuation of the last administration, because it's still the same political party that are in power. So when you feel you're just starting, I mean, you're taking me that back. I'm confused here, because I know during the electionary campaign, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu consistently said he will continue from where President Muhammadu Buhari stopped. So when you are saying you're starting, I don't understand.
In terms of infrastructure, you are aware that on mine, the Minister of Works and Housing, they don't open any new project. We continue from previous government. In terms of infrastructure, mark me, that's what they say, and that's what he's doing. And I know he's going to do better. In conclusion, let's be patient. Let's be patient.
I'm only taking you by your word, because you said that the government is just starting. That's why I said, are you starting a government that was in power 8 years ago? I mean, a political party and so are you just starting? 8 years ago, the APC-led administration kept saying, we just started. We just started. I agree with them. They just came into power. But 8 years after, you can't say you just started. A child that is 8 years can't say that is no longer a toddler.
Okay.
So we expect so much from the government. Okay, Nigerians believe that they prepared for services. So therefore, they should, rather than complaining, rather than saying this, they should please ensure they fix Nigeria, because that is why we elected them into office.
Now, Moses, we will hopefully we're going to have him back on the show just before we wrap up. We're wrapping up, and then they said there's a news here coming from the Nigerian Tribune. August inflation rates. Companies may resort to downsizing LCCI ones. Now, this is on the heat. We already know on the heat of the economy, things are not working well. People are not even able to meet up with salary payments. This is now going to affect the common man, and it still boils down to all what we've been saying today. They want government to remove tax on food items, urge CBN to pause inflation rate hike. Now, this is the news today, Moses.
Absolutely. When you consider the suffering, mostly the working people are going through today, it's hard for Nigerians to call that tax should be exempted from food products, because rather than taxing food product and allowing prices of goods, food to skyrocket in the market, government should look at other commodity that require serious tax. Now, one major thing that I think our government sometimes is as if is deliberate is you are exempting so many other tasks. The other day, I attended a training where a report was quoted that about how many $1 billion is what the government is exempting Dangote from paying tax. So why are you now, taxing the ordinary workers whose salary can't even take them anywhere, and then you're exempting major companies like Dangote's and other multinationals from tax? So I think the government, rather than taxing ordinary workers, because if you check today, it's only the workers that are paying accurate tax in the country, because they take their tax even before paying their salary.
Their salaries.
Yeah, And so is a problem. It's a difficult thing that I think the government must really look into it and then see how they can reduce the suffering of Nigerians.
Nigerians. That is well said. Now, I want you to throw your opinion weight on these two issues and then we'll wrap up the show. The first one say, no university can survive without fees increments. Now, this is the committee of VCs. Now, should we be talking about fee increments? Increasing fees when Nigerians are not able to feed. Students cannot even see money for transportation, and then you're talking about a fee increment. And then there's a story here. I think Nigerians are applauding this. That I don't know for you. Is that a way forward? Tinubu nominates Ibrahim Olawande as youth ministers. Now she is quite young. What's your take on these two issues just before we wrap?
Well, the last one first. On the appointment of Ibrahim Olawande, I think it's a welcome development. We need more younger people at the helms of affairs because if you check, we've had faces who even while we're toddler, are running the government, still be the one running the government today. And you're wondering whether you like it or not. You can't compare the brain of a younger person and with that of an old person. And so, what we expect the government to do, though I will applaud President Tinubu for the number of younger people in his administration, in his cabinet, and I think he needs to do more. Let's if by the time he gives the younger people like 70% of his cabinet are young people, he will see difference, and I bet you he's going to see difference on that because all over the world, how old is Emmanuel Macron, for instance? I mean, he's the president of France, and so we, I mean, as Nigerians, should also look at that rather than having this sit tight power, sit tight syndrome that is common with us in Africa. You saw what is happening, I mean, with our neighbors, and it's as if it's a wildfire that is actually running fast. So they have to quickly give power to the youth because the youth are the future of every nation. The youth, and so I must commend him for the last two appointments, the ministers which just appointed. On the issue of fee increment by a committee of vice chancellors, you've rightly alluded to the fact that Nigerians are groaning under a very terrible economic challenges. Some people can't even afford 3 square meal these days, and some of them have 2 or 3 children in the university. And when you allow this to thrive, automatically you are saying so many of Nigerians will be dropped out of school because they can't, some of them are even struggling to pay the current fee. How much more if they are not increased? So I think government need to look into this. Though I know there's move to grant autonomy to universities, and of course that is why the issue of school fees increment is actually coming in now because once university are granted autonomy, it means they will increase fee. They will just any amount of money, but they should also be watchful. If at all they really want Nigerians to be educated, they should make it a duty. Probably the subsidy need to keep be paid on education so that every Nigerians, irrespective of your status, I mean your parent status in the society, should be able to attend school. I mean without stress.
Wow, well said. Now, Michael, we just hope your network will allow you to stay. We saw two appointments done by the president, which Nigerians are applauding. They feel that is the way to go. They are quite young now. I know you are happy. So, what's your take on this just before we go?
Yes. This is one of the appointment President Tinubu did, which we are applauding and we are happy. And we said not too young to run. Dr. Jamila Biu, who is the Minister of Youth, she's 37 years old and a medical doctor and a politician, and also a strong advocate of United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. You know, she has been working tirelessly, making things in order. And also the Minister for State for Youth, and by name Ayodele, and is a national youth leader. He's 34 years old. Like I told you yesterday, you need to engage the youth. The youth are the leader of tomorrow. I know my friend Mosi is very happy about this appointment.
He is happy. We are all of us. We are happy.
Because that's the reason why I need him to applaud the president. Because
but I did. I did. Yeah, I did. I indeed I applauded the president for the two appointments. Of course, I commended him, and like I said, he should do more. We did like 70% of youth in his cabinet.
It's not even about this. The mandate secretary, which it comes from the FCT, you are aware. Look, let me tell you something. We have 32 youths holding a strong office in this government.
That is what Moses said earlier, that if it's one thing he really loves about this president, is about the fact that we have a lot of youth in the government who shows that is youth driven as well. And there's the hope for us, the youths.
Yes, it's a hope. They call it the renewable hope for Nigerians, particularly Nigerian youth. So I'm happy. I want to also thank President Buhari. I beg your pardon, President Tinubu. Sir, you've done a good work. I want you to continue on that space. Like I said, the youth are the leader of tomorrow. You have to engage them now. For them to have the managerial skill, for them to have the experience, for them to have the knowledge of governance. Do you get? So I'm happy, and I want him to do more on that regard, so that my friend Moses will support us more and more and propagating the good gospel of
Moses is a media practitioner. We are neutral. We only checkmate the leaders. We only checkmate lawmakers, and of course, our work is to stand as a bridge between government and the people.
Yes, of course.
Yes, well, thank you too so much for being on the show today. It's our hope that the FCT minister will do more to safeguard the lives and property of the people, and of course, our dear president as well. We try and resolve these back and forth issues with the organized labor, because they are the mouthpiece of the workers. These workers, they need help. You cannot, lawmakers cannot take so much home, and then you bring one bag of rice for 12 workers to share and take home. It's an eyesore, something that they need to checkmate immediately. Well, thank you too so much for being on the show, viewer. This has been, we've been on the show Inside Nigeria. I will bring you everything there is to Nigeria, we as a people as well. I've been with Honorable Joseph Michael Toboro, person, Tinubu Shetima Progressive Grassroots Mobilization. Thank you so much, sir, for being on my show. Hopefully, we're going to bring you here again. You're going to tell us we can't progress, because you said we should give it time. So after some time, I will make sure Moses will be on the show that day.
Yes, but like I told you, we want to go back to Abuja master plan. That is an idea, and that is the way forward.
So where have we been all the while? Not Abuja master plan.
No, that is what Mr. President said, and you can say Mr. President said Minister Wicked is a man right to his heart, because he's doing the right thing. He's encouraging all the ministers to do the same what Minister Wicked is doing. And I assured you, in 6 months' time, you will not understand how Abuja will look.
That is why I'm
watching.
Yes, don't worry. I'll be giving you an update. Moses is aware. Moses is here. I'll be giving you an update before and after, and I believe it's going to work well.
All right, we'll see how that
goes. We're hopeful.
We're hopeful. That is it. We're very hopeful, optimistic as well, and it's our sincere prayer.
We are still waiting. Like I told you about.
This is the prayer of Nigerians, so that we leave this place of hardship, tears, and agony. This is our sincere prayer. And then I have been on the show as well with Moses John Akwachiki. He is a senior special correspondent. Thank you so much, comrade, for being on my show today. I appreciate the two of you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, and it's always my pleasure.
Yes, we hope that the government will hear us, will see us, and of course do the needful for Nigerians, and not, we have gone past the stage of elastic limits. There is no limit anymore. So they should do what is right. And hopefully, Moses, I'm hoping that today's meeting will be resolved once and for all. I'm talking about the organized labor. So we'll just wait and see.
All right, thank you.
So
Moses, nice to meet you. My friend, the freedom fighter. I would love to see you again.
Well, it's my pleasure. It's a pleasure, Barrister. I hope we will see soon.
Yes.
Sure.
You have yourself a very beautiful day, viewers. Yes, viewers, I've been on the show with two able Nigerian youths. Yes, able and capable, strong Nigerian youths, Moses John and Mike Joseph. Well, thank you, viewers, for being on my show today. We appreciate your time. See you again on the same station next week with the same program inside Nigeria. Before I go, don't forget to hit on the notification bell. Follow us on our social media handles, Twitter, now X, Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Hit on the notification bell, subscribe, invite somebody to the page. Leave us with your comments as well. We'd love to hear from you. And while you're out there, we know the economy is hard, it's biting so hard on a daily basis. It's as if it's getting worse, but keep hope alive. And let's remember, peace is priceless. So let's give peace a chance. While you're out there, be nice to another person as well, because everybody, we are all going through the tough time. So be nice to your neighbor today. Put a smile on the face of somebody, even though you are not smiling yourself. The world will be a better place tomorrow. Remember to drink water as well, and don't drink and drive. Don't drive, obey the traffic laws. It's rainy season over, especially in Nigeria. Please obey traffic law and safeguard yourself and others as well. See you again on the show. I remain yours truly, Princess Kessy. Bye for now.
SR TV.